Hi, I'm Jeff Haynes, editor at Tech Bargains, and today we're bringing you a video unboxing of the Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo has a long and storied history of bringing unique and innovative game experiences to players all around the world, and the Nintendo 3DS is absolutely no different. It merges the popularity of 3D technology with the portability of its successful DS franchise. So there are a number of colors that you can actually get your 3DS in. We managed to get ours in Cosmo Black, and they all have the exact same functionality, so it's really just a matter of personal preference. But once you open up the box, you're going to find initially this packet of information that relates to your brand new portable game system. A lot of it is stuff that you're going to want to go through, of course, just to get a sense of exactly what you have in your hands. The very first thing that you'll find, of course, is a quick start guide in one of three separate languages, English, French, and Spanish, so you can get a sense of how to set up your profiles, log on to a network and configure wireless situations, start games, things like that. Next to that, you're going to find some Street Pass information, which is the 3DS's way of not only exchanging possible profile information with other 3DS users, but also kind of getting more information about other players that might be in your general vicinity for multiplayer matches or things like that. You'll also find a Nintendo Power offer for their magazine, a registration offer for their Club Nintendo club, and as well as registering the console itself, and a hefty product manual so you can learn all the ins and outs of the 3DS portable system, and you can figure out exactly what you need to do to operate it successfully. Finally, you'll also find this packet of AR cards, and the AR cards are actually what are used to run a couple of virtual games in 3D with the game system. What you do is you essentially lay these cards out on a surface and you point the 3DS at it, and it will actually project 3D images of the cards themselves that you can look at and interact when you're playing the different software. As you can see, you've got a question block from Super Mario Brothers, you've got Mario himself, you've got Samus Aran from the Metroid series, you've got Link, Kirby, and finally the Pikmin. All 6 of these come installed with every single DS that you wind up buying, and I believe you'll be able to get additional cards in the future, just not right now at launch. Once you lift this little cardboard insert away, you'll find the rest of the packaging itself, which has the console and some of the other items that you'll use on a frequent basis. The very first thing, of course, is the AC adapter, which has the familiar DS fold-in adapter prongs. And this will work, I believe, on not only the 3DS, but also the DSi XL. So if you happen to have one of the older models, you can use that same adapter. You also will find a charge cradle, which you can use to just basically fit the DS inside and charge portably while just placing it on a desktop as opposed to just leaving it lying around somewhere. All you do is you basically plug the adapter into the back of the charge cradle right there, and you're ready to go. Finally, you have the system itself. As I said, it is in Cosmo Black, which you can see right here. And the 3DS actually operates on a very unique way of projecting 3D images to the viewer. It uses what's called binocular parallax viewing. And essentially what that's like is it winds up projecting separate images to both your left and your right eye that only those eyes can see. And by using the concept of binocular parallax viewing, you actually see the projected image in 3 dimensions. It's kind of similar to what we see every day as we look at different objects in real life and see how much depth that they happen to have. So it's really, really creative, and it winds up using that by way of these 2 camera lenses that you see right here for both the left and the right eye. As you point it at something, it will pick up whatever that image is, and it can also be used to transfer that into 3D images that you take with the camera function, or different different games. Like I said, you use that, you point it at one of the AR cards, and you easily get a 3D image. If you're using this as a camera, you also can use this virtual flash right here. This LED light will pop up, and you can take a picture using these left and right bumper buttons to essentially control either the left or the right lens. Going to the rear of the device itself, you'll find, of course, as I just mentioned, the left and right buttons, which can also be used for gameplay mechanics. You'll also find a power port, so you can easily, once again, use the power adapter and plug directly into the rear of the Nintendo 3DS. And you'll also find the 3DS game slot. Now, the 3DS can also run Nintendo DS games, so it's a little bit backwards compatible. You don't have to feel like you're abandoning your old game library if you happen to have the original Nintendo DS, the DSi, or the DSi XL. You can easily use all of those games and plug them right into this same slot. Next to that, you'll find this telescoping stylus, which is actually a little bit different than other Nintendo DS products. They all had smaller styluses, or styli, I guess, where your hands would get a little bit cramped if you were trying to manipulate the touchscreen for prolonged periods of time. With the telescoping stylus, you can actually hold it a little bit more like a pen, so you have a little bit more control over it, and your hand doesn't get as cramped up as it typically would. I'll just replace that. And next to the stylus port, you'll also see an infrared signal port, so you can easily beam information from one 3DS to another. I'll just also go around the sides of it before I open up the system. On the left-hand side of the 3DS, you'll find your wireless slider, which you can easily use to toggle the wireless signal back and forth between turning it on and turning it off. I'll also get to this little switch a little bit later because this relates to the 3D options. On the front of the system, you have a headphone port, as well as a power indicator button, or power indicator light rather, and a charge light, so you have a sense of how long the system will take to charge. It usually takes about 3 or 4 hours, and again, as I said, if you decide to place it within the charge cradle, you can easily see that light pop up on the front of it whenever you have it fully docked. On the right-hand side of the system, you'll find a toggle for your volume, as well as an SD card slot. The Nintendo 3DS comes with a 2 GB SD card already pre-installed with each system, and here you can easily take and store any photos that you happen to take with the 3DS, any songs that you wind up adding to the system if you want to listen to music while playing, any downloadable games that you use through Nintendo's service, you can easily store on that card. And you can also take that card out, put it into any multi-card reader on a computer, and transfer and save your files that way. Opening up the 3DS itself, you'll see both the familiar top and bottom screens that are a familiar staple of the DS product line of portable game hardware from Nintendo. You'll also see the left and right speakers on the top screen, as well as a third camera, which can be used to take pictures of yourself while you're playing the game. It also has, on the top screen, this 3D slider, which can be used to toggle that binocular parallax view. Nintendo puts information out there that basically states that you may need to not only adjust the way that you hold the 3DS so that you can see the 3D image, but you'll also possibly need to adjust the toggle slider on this side to make sure that the depth actually stands out to you a little bit more or a little bit less depending upon your vision. Some people may not be able to actually see the 3D images, and in that case, they actually recommend that you turn the 3D functionality off. They also recommend that for children that are under 7 years of age, that they don't use the 3D functionality because it could potentially give them vision problems. And nobody wants that because everybody would rather be gaming and enjoying themselves. On the bottom part of the 3DS, you'll find a circular button pad so that you have a little bit finer control of game characters, as well as a D-pad and 4 buttons that you can use to interact with your gameplay. You also have a select and start button so you can easily access menus, and a home button to take you to the main menu of the 3DS. Finally, you have a power button that you can use to easily turn the system on and off. So, that's a quick walkthrough of the Nintendo 3DS. Be sure to come back to our website so you can check out the latest products, news, and reviews. And for more information on products like the Nintendo 3DS, be sure to check out techbargains.com.